This is Cynthia Ortiz. It is bright and early, and we already have a podcast requirement. So it is October 14, 2021. These are the Charles Perry Stalker podcast. This is Cynthia Ortiz. Use the but for standard here. But for a threat or some intent to harm me or smear me or slander me or some, we got that always ever. Let's kill her or false arrest her. Let's constantly. That's a threat every day. Take her car, get her kicked out of her home, make her go broke, take her money, false arrest her, or kill her. Those 5 things are threatened to me every fucking day. Some of them have been carried out. This day is no different. As soon as I get up, Mr. Perry goes right back at it. I mean, now we got some people. I can't tell you who it is or what, but there's somebody that Perry wouldn't want looking into it, but did. And, is observing that there's a pile of these things that she said beforehand, which means he had a meeting. He sat down with his guys, probably the 5, him and, Dave and Matt and Josh and Joe and their guys, and they had a meeting. And they all sat down and they planned some kind of harm to Cynthia and got recorded, got to the police that are helping her and to her. She knew it before, not after. These are not afterthoughts to try to explain something away. This is something that I had information on before that I got from police investigating him, and he's not getting it. The guy's very, very slow. When you bother me, you get caught. When you bother me, you get caught. When you bother me, you get caught, and I don't care what you think. And you keep trying to tell me what you think, and I don't care. And I have to repeat myself over and over and over, and that's very irritating. It's very irritating. This guy watches me in the privacy of my home and thinks that if I tap my fingers or scratch my head, that's a secret love signal. What the fuck is wrong with you? He goes around telling people stuff. If I have a music playing, he thinks that's a secret love message. These are things I don't intend for you to see at all, much less take wrong. So there's certainly no intent to send any kind of secret message to you. We all want to know what the secret message is that you think it means when I scratch my head and tap my fingers. I mean, this is ridiculous. Why are, everybody's like, why the hell is he not embarrassed? We're all embarrassed for him. He's mentally ill, that's why. That's what these guys were talking about. Mr. Perry is mentally ill. And what's wrong with the rest of them? Are they all mentally ill? They have to be. They're caught. She's got a gazillion emails about some kind of thing he is trying to do to her, to hurt her. He's already done some of it. He's done it. He did it. There was an email about it beforehand, not after. So that means he had a meeting. He talked about it. He was recorded. That recording got to police. Those police told Cynthia. It's a process here. And then when I get it, it's emailed to my attorneys, and it goes out from there. And that is done to establish premeditation, not to harass or hurt Mr. Perry's feelings. And his claims that he's being harassed when he's caught and told on are bullshit, and everybody's sick of hearing it. The things that you guys do are offensive. They're criminal because they're offensive. Trying to frame me for a murder, which you've done that before. Okay, if these guys knew Mike Neely was drugged, is what this guy pointed out today. This is an intelligent argument, which we don't see intelligence coming from Charles. He says bizarre. If it's bizarre, he'll say that. If it's illegal and weirdo, he'll do that. I mean, you can take it to Vegas and bet on it. But this guy's making an accurate observation here. These guys are getting all this stuff Charles is trying to do before he actually does it. So don't you think they'd know if she killed somebody? Or didn't, or if Charles is trying to frame her for something. We got the jewelry thing a long time ago. So I guess a U.S. attorney was looking into my money. And I'm not going to say which U.S. attorney. There's a bunch of them. You go find that needle in the haystack. Plus, Mr. Perry's killing people, so now everybody's not going to talk. You got Dead Lucky, you got Framed Mike, you got Almost Dead Me, you got Framed Me. I mean, you're attacking people. So you think somebody's going to give you information that would help you attack people? Or make it where you might attack them? You're off your nut. You're delusional. People are not going to help you. You can call. Go ahead, call. They're not going to help you. No, but listen, Mr. Perry. I don't like you. You need to write it down so that you don't forget. We understand you have strong probability of Alzheimer's or senile dementia because we have to repeat the same thing over and over and over, and you don't get it. And a lot of this stuff should never have to be said at all, much less over and over and over again. Most people just know, and yet you don't. And and you're old. You have to be told, and not just once, but over and over and over. People don't like it when you hurt other people. They don't like it. They don't like you for doing it. You get caught when you fuck with me. When you bother me, you get caught. When you bother me, you get caught. And no one cares what you think. You weren't asked. You were told stop contacting me, weren't you? See, he's typing in my phone prayers, hugs, kisses. What the fuck kind of weirdo shit is that? Get the fuck out of my phone. You know, you guys have tried to influence my thinking for a long time. At what point are you going to realize that's not going to happen? You're not going to influence my thinking. You think, I guess you're used to dealing with weak people. This isn't that. You've sat down and talked about it. We've heard the recordings of that too. We've not had one with this kind of longevity. We've not had a victim of our crime that we can't subjugate at this point. You want to subjugate me. That's duly noted for the record. The judge that grants any kind of investigatory orders is wondering what in the hell is wrong with people that keep trying to do something when they've been caught, like the ringtone. I think we've beat the ringtone horse to death, he said. I've heard 50 recordings on that one thing. Hundreds on the car. Get her car, get her car, get her car. Where's the title? Why is the registration not in the glove? We told you, Terry, to tell her to put it in the glove. Well, I did. That's why she didn't do it. Over and over and over, you're caught. Have Terry give her some jewelry from his wife's auction. Starve her to death. Force her to take it to a pawn shop. Then we'll have her arrested on possession of stolen property. And I heard that recording. I take a picture of the jewelry. I put it all over the internet. My guys look at it. They take it to their jewelry guy. Their jewelry guy goes, this isn't worth shit. They hadn't given her the jewelry yet. This is $10 maybe. A pawn shop's not going to take it. It's Walmart crap. Caught. You were recorded talking about trying to frame me for that. You were recorded talking about trying to frame me for Caitlin Arquette's murder. Caitlin Arquette was shot in the head. I didn't know her. Never met her. We didn't run with the same people. Didn't hang out with the same crowd. Never met her in my life. I was 18, 19 years old. I had my own apartment at that time, I think, and no TV. Nor did I give a shit about the news at that time. I was busy, just flew out of the baby bird nest, and I was with my friends all the time. I was hanging out with people my parents were very controlling. They didn't let us do a whole lot. Man, we had to be home by 10. You can't get a lot done by 10. All of a sudden, I'm out of the house. Every rule I had to, obey when I lived at home. I was out way past 10. Because I was finally on my own. I was with my friends. I was at their house. I was doing fun things. All the things that I couldn't do. I didn't drink or anything. I didn't even smoke yet. I started smoking on my 21st birthday. This was when I was 19. So Mr. Perry having my friends that don't smoke at work take my cigarettes so he can plant somewhere. I didn't smoke then. So, whatever. And my gum, he had Godiva's waitress take my gum. So what do you get? They didn't make that kind of gum then. This was a 30-year-old murder. My fingerprints now have incidentals on them that they didn't have then. I was 19 then. Now I'm older. I'm 50. So there's going to be there's not going to be. There's cuts. There's scrapes. There's burns that are on my hands now that weren't on there then. I've never shot a gun. I've never held a gun. I wouldn't know how to take the safety off to save my own ass. I don't do gun. It's not my thing. So this guy's first of all, he already did a false arrest. She's told everybody months before he's trying to do a false arrest and kill me. You're looking at texts. Clearly, they were trying to kill her. She had already had a protective order denied because she didn't file a police report. She goes and files one. A week later, he has her arrested. What the fuck? When the fuck did they investigate to see if it was false or true? He obstructed justice. Matt Powell failed to preserve all the evidence, not just have her blood and hair tested for poisoning, to rule out foul play, to see if she was false reporting. They already did it. They did it once. They then, while she's in jail, tried to, let's send her home and make her think she's going to be safe and harass the hell out of her. And then when she screams, uncle, say she's harassing us. Now they want to do a false murder arrest. They wanted to do a false jewelry arrest. I mean, come on with this. What planet do these bitches live on? How many? Charles is clearly mentally ill. Clearly delusional. But are they all? Because they're all acting like that. She catches them before. But she can't do that by herself. So, you seem to just want to not admit that I would have help. Because I can't do it by myself. There's no way. So who is it? Who are you pissing off every time you mess with me? Charles, I don't like you. I get that you want me, that you love me, you say. I don't know what the hell kind of... Your definition of love is not the same as everybody else's. It's not. Because when you love someone, you can't bring yourself to hurt them. And all you do is hurt people. You hurt anybody and everybody. You don't exploit people on the internet in the privacy of their home and pimp them out. If you're in love with somebody, you got a sexual sadist problem. It's a mental illness. That's not love. That's weirdo. You're a sex weirdo. Everyone knows it. You act like you think you're still hiding something. Dude, get a grip on reality. You're not. You're absolutely not. Your crime is more out there than it has ever been in your life because you fucked with me. You too, David. You too, Matt. You too, Joe. You too, Josh. You guys are corrupt motherfuckers. You know, everyone can see it. I don't know what the hell planet you live on that you think people don't know. They do. I want a list of the people you think you still have fooled. Because reality is nobody's fooled. And everybody's very irritated with you. Everybody is very irritated with you. Charles, I'm not in love with you. I'm not attracted to you. I don't want you. If you're going to have a relationship, both people have to want to be in the relationship. They have to have feelings for each other. And I don't have that for you. I've made that very clear. You make me want to vomit. I think you're disgusting. I think you're the strangest bitch I've ever met in my life. I think you're BTK, Epstein, all rolled up into one. You're a sick motherfucker. And anybody that would help somebody like you, guess what? They are probably going to end up going to jail right along with you because you are a sick motherfucker. You're BTK, Epstein, rolled up into one. And you hid that all your life until you met me. When the day you guys met me, all of you, Josh, Joe, Matt, David, Charles, the day you guys met me, you had shit you were covering up. And the day you met me, life as you knew it stopped. It ended. And all of a sudden, you're getting caught every time you try to hurt me. Why is that? Who do I know? Who do I know with power? Charles, if you can't be normal and just go work like everybody else, you have no power. I don't want you. You can't get a date. It's been 10 years. You have no date. I don't want you. You need to get a grip on reality. You just piss me off. That's all you do. When you contact me, when you cause a hardship or a loss, when you try to smear me, when you try to fuck with me, when you cause trauma or drama or problems or whatever, impose, burden, bother, and bother, and bother, you get caught more. It's easier to get this stuff because you piss us all off. I don't care what you think. Write it down. I don't care what you think. You're loony. Why would I care what you think? You're an imposition and a burden. Why would I give a shit what you think? Yep, thanks for changing the page. There's the hacker right there. You just altered my evidence. I don't want that shown. I had it somewhere else. Right here. That's where I had it. You altered my evidence, so note that for the record. Mr. Perry hacked, and he just altered evidence. You have a bad habit of that. You have a bad habit of that. You're a burden and you're an imposition, Perry. I didn't invite you to my life in Oklahoma. I left. That should have been the end of it. You chose, you're a grown-ass man, you chose to come up here and hire a bunch of people and just fuck with me and fuck with me and fuck with me and fuck with me and pester and bother and cause a problem after problem after problem after problem. And that's criminal activity, and you're fucked right now more than you've ever been in your life. And you're not getting it, man. You're not getting it. When you mess with me, you get caught. When you mess with me, you get caught. You weren't asked what you think. No one asked you. You're loony. I don't care what you think. You're a fruitcake. I don't care what you think. You know, my crowd is those 40 cops helping me that you want to act like they don't exist. But you can't explain how I get what you just said and the Fabian puzzle. How did I get all that? You know, you need to shut up. You never shut up, do you? Absolutely never shut up. How many different ways do I need to say the same thing? I don't care what you think. You were not asked. You were asked not to contact me ever again. You have no control over yourself, do you? You don't have any power. You get caught the more you fuck with me. So these guys are all going, what is wrong with somebody that gets caught this much, and she's got all this stuff that she knew before, which means there was a meeting. They all discussed it. It was recorded. That somehow made its way to these cops helping her, and then to her. And she knew before. It's not after. She's not making up some, it's not like she's already been arrested for a murder and then comes out and goes, well, but he was planning it. Well, but it's before. I was told the other day, you go back to Sensations, they'll have you arrested the second you walk in. For what? For what would I be arrested the second I walk back into Sensations? You tell me. You tell us. Not liking a weirdo? Not liking a sex weirdo? Got his feelings hurt? I'm not into sadism. He goes and hurts people, and he gets off on that, and he thinks he's in love. That's a date to him. That's a mental illness to us. That's your vomit that you continue to go back to, that you can't stop yourself. You don't have control. There's no control. I didn't ask you what you thought. I said get the hell out of my life, didn't I? Get the hell out of my life. Charles, get the fuck out of my life. All your crime has been more caught because you fuck with me. You need to get it. Your crime is caught because you fuck with me. I left. There's no fight I didn't pick a fight with you. You've threatened a false arrest. You carried it out. You got caught. You obstructed justice. You didn't preserve my evidence, Matt. Not the video evidence. That's what this guy said. He didn't his obligation was to preserve the evidence. That's a law. He didn't. He failed. He didn't preserve her blood and hair evidence of poisoning. That chick almost died. That's attempted murder. At the very least, it's aggravated assault. You can read these texts and see they were doing something to her. It wasn't political. There's not one mention of anything political anywhere going back to 2011. So they went into court and lied about that. They didn't allow time for an investigation. They obstructed justice. And then Matt Powell had a legal obligation to preserve the evidence of the video, of the texts that she's brought into the police report. It's right there on the police report. And her blood and hair. And he didn't preserve any of it. So he obstructed justice, caused the destruction of her evidence, and committed perjury. Just on that first false arrest. And then they've been trying it again ever since. That's harassment. That's coercion. That's retaliation. And this U.S. attorney goes, I looked at her money. You can see clearly they did something in February in these months, just right before Mike Neely's trial, because she told everybody a year before he was drugged and didn't do that. And they won't let her testify. So you can see right here they're witness tampering. It's very clear. It's obvious. She's broke all of a sudden. And then she said she wanted to file a 12-1031. No doubt they're affecting her money now, trying to prevent her from doing that. She can go past the deadline if they intentionally impede her ability to file that motion to vacate on fraud. And there's clear fraud. She's got all these texts and emails, and the judge wouldn't. Again, we have too many cases where they won't let her in the courtroom. When you hear these podcasts, you can see why that is. It's not hard. Anybody can figure that one out. You guys are stupid. You think everybody's as stupid as you are, don't you? They're not. We're all irritated at you. We're irritated at you. Charles, shut the fuck up. You weren't asked what you think, were you? You were asked to get out. Shut the fuck up. Number 2. Oh, God, now I lost my train of thought. That you're irritating everybody. Now I lost my train of what I was trying to say. Oh, he said, you can clearly see he's trying to impede her ability to file a motion to vacate on fraud. She's got Pinto. She's got Mickey James. She's got this Terry Wagner guy. She's got all these texts from these men that aren't talking to her about abortion. They're trying to influence her thinking on the stalking problem she's having with Charles. She went in to file for a protective order. There should have been a hearing in 14 days, and there wasn't. There's too many of these cases where there should have been a hearing and there wasn't. Too many of these cases where there should have been a hearing with all parties present and there wasn't. And these judges had a legal obligation to not be ignorant on fact. And they were. They chose to. So you can't really rule the judge out as being, it's just Charles perpetrating a fraud upon a court. He's deceiving the court intentionally. There's too many of them where the judge should have said, we're going to have a hearing with all parties, and they didn't, which that implicates then the judge. So guess what my guys do? They start looking for the money. They have the money. They know exactly what you paid each judge, which judges you paid, which ones you didn't. When you fuck with me, you get caught. So this guy's making up, logical, reasonable person standard applies. Any reasonable person can infer guilt. You killed Mike when my money went just to nothing all of a sudden right before his trial. I wasn't allowed to testify. You did that murder. What would you care if you didn't do it? Do you think everybody's stupid? I'll tell you what, everybody's pissed that you did that to him. Remember the recording? Any idiot can see she's telling the truth, Charles. When if the jury had heard her say what I heard her say, he'd be home right now. Why did you do that to him? I had no idea you had it in you to be that cruel, to keep her from testifying for him. Why the fuck would you do that? Everybody wants to know that, Charles, Dave, Josh, Joe, Matt. Why the fuck would you? Why do you hurt people and get off on it? You just want a thrill. You just like the thrill of causing everybody problems. Well, 10 years later, $25 million later, plus, there's no date and there's no cover-up. You fuck with me, you get caught. I didn't call the Duvalls. I didn't go dance. I didn't close my bank account down, Mr. Robertson, like you wanted me to. Apparently, I heard you wanted me to. You were going to take money out of my account thinking I'll close the account down. And I didn't, did I? I didn't go to Zeos. You wanted me at Zeos? I didn't go. You want me at the club? I don't go. You want to arrest me when I walk in the door? Duly noted for the record. For what? For what? You make all these false claims in court. Perjury after perjury after perjury. You're not being harassed, Perry. You came up here and bothered me. You're the one that has some sort of love affair in your head that doesn't exist to me. You think I'm hot and sexy or pretty and smart, whatever. I don't think that about you. And I don't care what you think either. It doesn't go both ways. 10 years, you got not one date. No phone call. I won't talk to you. I won't take your phone calls. You're a loony. I'm not going to go. If I talk to a Looney Tune, I might as well go talk to a tree. Sorry, but I have better things to do with my time. You want to make a confession? Call Tulsa Police. Or actually better, Manford. Call Jerry Ridley. Waive your right to counsel and go down there and confess. Have Jerry call me. I'll go down there and listen. I have no problem with that. But that's the only kind of conversation I'll ever have with you. You don't matter to me. You don't. You're a criminal. You're a monster. You've ruined my life. I have a history before I met you. Did that not occur to you? Long before I met you. You shut up, Charles. He likes typing in my computer. Like he thinks these are a conversation. Right now, he shouldn't know what I'm doing. And he only does know what I'm doing because he's a hacker and a peeper. That's the only way he can know what I'm doing. These are recorded. This isn't live. He acts like he thinks this is live. And that it's a conversation. Dude, it's not a fucking conversation. No one asked you to talk. No one asked you what you think. You weren't asked. You were told, get the fuck out. Don't contact me again. And yet you just do it anyway. And then you get caught. And then you do it again. And then you get caught. And then you do it again. And then you get caught. And you're stupid. I've never seen this level of stupid. I didn't know it was possible for people to be as stupid as you. It is. I'm amazed. I lived in Vegas. You see stupid, weird, bizarre. I put all those people together. Not a drop in the bucket compared to you're weird and you're stupid. Don't contact me. Don't contact me. I don't like it. Why can't you understand what those words mean? Why can't you just understand words? Don't contact me. I don't like it. Get out of my life. Get out of it. You're not wanted. Nobody invited you here. You imposed. You're a burden. You're a monster. I don't want you in my life. Get out of it. Don't peep. Don't hack. Don't contact me. When you do, you get caught. When you bother me, you get caught. Your own guy. The more he pesters her and takes her money, things don't go well for us. We're seeing things happen we've not seen before. You know, your little creepy, deviant men's club business where you exploit women all over the internet. We've not had one with this much longevity. I have help. You're not going to influence my thinking. My guys influence my thinking. Nobody's caught you like I have. Nobody. You think you're going to frame me with a murder? It's duly noted that you've been trying. Charles, shut the fuck up. It's duly noted. You've been trying to frame me with something. It's different every day. Have her ask that cop if he wants my drugs. Yep, you fell and hit your head on the pavement. I didn't do it. It's unbelievable you'd think I would. That speaks to your delusion. So this guy says if they know they framed Mike, if they know all this other stuff Charles has tried to do to her, it's just one more thing he's trying to do to her. He threatened a false arrest before, and he carried it out. He's trying to do a harassment false arrest. He's tried to do a murder false arrest. He's tried to do a drug trafficking false arrest. He's tried to do a prostitution false arrest. I mean, come on. What planet do you have to live on to not get it by now? You're caught. When you fuck with me, you're caught. I didn't go to Zeos because I found out you were going to do something to me if I would have. Now, the only way you could know there was even talk of going to Zeos is hacking my phone, or you're talking to my ex-husband. Which one is it, or is it both? You know, you call my family and you tell them we got to take her car, you got to help. And if you don't help, if you talk, we'll call the EPA on you. My guys call the EPA first. My guys call the EPA first. So, I mean, now everybody's going, well, we all know Charles is delusional and sadist and antisocial and whack job. We all know that. That's what the guy said. What about the rest of them? There's 5 of them here. Is David? Is Matt? Is Josh? Is Joe? Are they all nutty? Because why would you keep doing the same thing that gets you caught? And they do it every day. And then they get caught more. And she's got too many of these emails and all this stuff that is piled up where she knew before. It's not an afterthought to explain away something. She knows before, which means they had a meeting and they discussed it. They planned it. They premeditated it. It's malicious. How can we hurt her today? How can we kill her today? How can we take everything she's got today? How can we subjugate? She knows what they're doing. She knows exactly what they're doing. And they don't like that. They're scared. They're desperate. They look stupid. It's like a bank robber that just keeps robbing the bank even though he's surrounded by SWAT. Just keeps going at it like they're not there. Everyone's laughing. Wow. Stupid criminal. Stupid criminal. You're caught when you fuck with me. You're caught when you fuck with me. You're caught when you fuck with me. Perry, shut the fuck up. Nobody cares what you think. You weren't asked. I don't like you. You go hurt people. You jack off, our witness says, rub one out. And you think that's a date. No one else thinks that. It's abnormal. When you peep, it's a crime. When you hack, it's a crime. When you stalk, it's a crime. When you retaliate, you violate RICO Act, all of that's crime. And you've got like hundreds of RICO violations. Hundreds. Because you like sexual exploitation. And so when you get caught on that, then you jump into the RICO Act violations. Duly noted for the record, you're caught. David, are you mentally ill too? I mean, anybody can be able to think this through. When you keep getting caught, when you do a certain thing, maybe you should not do it. Maybe you should stop. So everybody knows I like the show Clarice. That's my favorite thing. I can identify with her in a lot of ways. And I was sad that they canceled the show. But one of those ways is other men have power, Mr. Perry. Other men have power in my life. She was also dealing with a sex pervert who had women as a sex slave and acted like he's doing some favor for these women. Delusion. I love helping my girls. Oh, come on, you fucking asshole. He's abusing them. He was pimping them out. Charles is exactly the same. You don't have any girls, first of all. You have victims of crime. You don't have power. You can't even control yourself. You should be embarrassed by what you do all day. It's not a trophy. It's disgusting. You need to get a grip on reality. It's not a romance. I don't feel for you anything but ugh, disgust. I've said that over and over and over and over and over. But she's attacked. She's asked, we can get him on the attack or we can keep this going and get him on a whole lot more. And she said, let's get him on a whole lot more. Okay, well, that happened here long time ago. Long time ago. So when are you going to get it? How did I get the Fabian puzzle in jail? The name, the word me is right where it is. You know, those two words, Hope and Fabian, don't intersect before they do for a reason. Did you know that, Mr. Perry? This right here. They don't intersect up the top. They're intersecting there at the bottom of the two words, right? This is very specific to me. I got this in jail. You had no control over that, did you? Because I know men in power. Other men in my life have power. You don't have any. You can't even control yourself. You're as loony as they get. I said don't contact me. You never shut up. Does your attorney know that you're constantly contacting me and you never shut up? Does he know that? He ought to know that. So, there's a puzzle I get in jail. When you did the false arrest and Matt Powell failed to preserve any evidence at all. This guy said this morning. That was said this morning, Mr. Perry. Mr. Powell didn't just fail to preserve her blood and hair evidence to rule out or confirm poisoning. He failed to conserve any of it. Where's the video? Where's the video of her workplace the night Dave was kicked out that she's talking about in this police report? You can't investigate shit in a week. You got a detective calling on the 15th of February, long after her arrest, wanting the evidence. He didn't preserve any of it. He has a legal obligation to. So how many times we got evidence destroyed? We got she's not allowed in court over and over and over when there should have been a fair hearing with all parties present. They exclude her on purpose. And the thing is they could say that they're deceiving the court, except that the judge should have ordered a hearing with all parties present. There's too many issues where there's a motion filed, and there should have been a hearing, and there wasn't. Over and over. Now this piles up. Now it's not just once. It's once, twice, second, so many times that anybody can look at it and go, dear Lord, talk about corruption. I thought he was a Christian. Doesn't he want everybody to vote for him because he's a Christian? This is not what Christians do. He's a sex pervert. He's trying to cover it up. He can't control himself. So what he does is then he does all these RICO violations, retaliates against her, witness tampers, grand larceny with intent to coerce, conversion with intent to coerce, and you're caught. Not just by me, a U.S. attorney. She can still file late because she can prove, in my opinion, she's got plenty of proof here, they're intentionally impeding her ability to file that motion to vacate. Look at her money in February, right before Mike's trial. No question, there's witness tampering right here. No question. U.S. attorney said that. I'm not going to tell you which one. She knows what they're doing. She knows about Justice Scalia. She knows about Mike and Lucky. She knows too many things about what has been going on with these guys, this mafia type whatever shit. So they're going at her and going at her and going at her. But what happens is, that doesn't scare her. It doesn't intimidate her. They're trying to. They're retaliating. She just catches them. They just get caught. So what kind of mentally ill people keep doing that? What kind of mentally ill people keep fucking with that chick when that's all that happens? Charles, look at this. Fabian and Hope intersect. They do. You're just a temporary butt-in. You're me. Selfish. You focus on you. You is all you're going to end up with. You're an asshole. I don't want you. You're cruel. I don't think that's sexy. I think it's bizarre. You disgust me. My goal every day is to fuck up your crime. Write it down. There's no love here. I'm not in love with you. I like to kick your ass, and I've done it like nobody else you know. Write it down. Your Alzheimer's is driving everybody nuts with the need to repeat the same thing over and over and over, and you still don't get it. Come on. Stop with that. Jesus. Stop with that. Write it the fuck down. You're irritating the shit out of everybody. With your inability to grasp reality, your inability to grasp easy concepts, and your inability to remember a fucking thing that's already been said to you. Write it the hell down. Write it down. I don't care what you think. Didn't ask you. I said don't contact me. When you fuck with me, you get caught, and that's all you get. You've never gotten a date. It's 10 years. You're making a fool of yourself. Those two words intersect right when they're supposed to intersect. Right when they're supposed to intersect. Now, listen, when you're mean to people, they're not going to like you. When you start killing everybody and arranging false arrests, no one's going to help you. They don't want to be the next one. You can make all the fucking phone calls you want, and nobody's going to go, yep, it's me. Because they're not going to take the knife out of your hand and slit their own throat with it. What the fuck planet are you on? Call all you want. I walk back into Sensations and I get arrested for whatever the fuck it is this day. Duly noted for the record. You are recorded talking about that. You want to do a murder? Guess what? If my guys found out everything you were trying to do before, you think they don't know? I didn't kill anybody. You just doing another frame up. I think everybody at this point gets that, Charles. You're slow, and it's irritating the shit out of me. It's irritating the shit out of everybody. You think everybody's as slow as you are. If you can't figure out when you're mean to people, they aren't gonna like you. When you peep on a woman, it's a turn-off. That's why in 10 years, you're alone. Nobody's wanting you. You have no date. And $25 million later, no cover-up. Are all of you mentally ill? Are all of you slow? It looks like you all are. Please, try to catch up with everybody else. We don't like your contact. We don't like your crime. We don't want anything to do with it. And you need to stop. Stop. Charles, shut the fuck up. I don't care what you think. Didn't ask you. I said don't contact me. So don't contact me. So this is to document your latest threat. I'm going to do a false arrest on a murder. Never mind. I've got cops all over me who know I murdered Chief Miller. They told Cynthia Mike was drugged and he didn't do it. So it's possible maybe they know she didn't do any murder at all and I'm just trying to do a frame up. And they got her that in jail. They can pretty much figure out that it's just another frame up. I need to smear her. And of course everyone else is dumb like me. They won't know. They won't suspect a thing. Guess what? They know. They fucking know, and they're fucking pissed about it. When you hurt people, everyone tends to get pissed off at you. You're the villain. You see anybody stand up and cheer in a movie when the villain wins? I'm going to tell you something. There are people in Lubbock that knew me well. I remember I was there 3 years before you in politics, and you weren't in politics. You're the guy that didn't even vote, your opponent said. So there were people, when you did my false arrest, that knew you did a false arrest, fully expected you and Matt to act like men of honor and integrity that you stand up and tout yourself to be and make it right with me and my family. And when you didn't, it pissed them off. So when you want to know who's talking, some of them are in Lubbock, you sick son of a bitch. They're not in Oklahoma, they're in Lubbock, and they're pissed. They expected you to do the right thing. We had a guy call one of my guys and said, I'm going to tell you something. Everybody in Lubbock is sick and tired of the Cindy drama. And he wasn't the first person that said that. There's been several that said that. We're tired of Charles and Matt's woe is me bullshit. Everyone can see he's the aggressor. I don't want to hear one more thing that how his somebody done me wrong song. I'm getting tired of hearing it. You're a burden and an imposition, and you're taking people's time up. And they're tired of it. And you're not fooling anybody. I want a list of the people you think you're fooling. If they can get this puzzle to me in jail, they know whether or not I murdered somebody. They would have arrested me themselves, I promise. They know I didn't do it. You're just trying to do another frame up. I don't even know who it is I'm supposed to have murdered. Other than Caitlin, who I didn't know her. I met her mom 2 years after that whole thing. Her mom her mom was a famous author, Lois Duncan. Hired a PI. That guy solved it pretty much. Then she wrote a book about it. Then I heard about it. I was 19. I was out playing with my friends. I didn't have TV. I didn't watch the news. I didn't know anything about the murder. I was completely oblivious to all that kind of stuff. I didn't know Kate. I wish I had. We didn't hang in the same circles. She was involved with some drug people. I didn't do drugs. I didn't even smoke until I was 21. I've never actually done any drugs. I've never even tried pot. Do you understand? You better get your facts straight before you just start spouting off lies. And at this point, nobody believes much of what you say now because you've lied so much. And you've had all these little things in court where I'm not allowed to talk. I'm not in there to talk for whoever, me or Mike. I did say before he was drugged, not after anything. It's not an afterthought, Charles. I'm saying it before. I'm saying it before. It's not an afterthought, Charles. I'm saying it before. Over and over and over and over. And you're fucking caught. Wake up. You look stupid. Wake up. Get the fuck out of my life. Get out of it. And don't contact me again. I really don't like it.